The kids of today have it way harder than the kids had it 50 years ago. Like Gen Z men aren't losers, they're playing the game on hard mode. It's like they're playing it on veteran. It's the hardest mode they can play since the generation of World War II. After the generation of World War II, they've been playing it on easy mode, you know? Everywhere in the Western world, from now to like the early mid 2000s, bro, they were playing it on easy mode. Like one income in a household, that did wonders, bro. That did a lot. Nowadays, bro, you gotta own that corporation. You better get a super high skilled paying job if you want to have a family. Most kids nowadays, most teens, they can't afford to have, sorry, most young men can't afford to have families and stuff like that. They need support, you know? Like it's not ideal for them to have a one income family. Not the race they had did before. Yes, there's some people that can have a one income family, like, but look at them, bro. They're probably doctors and lawyers, or they got a business of their own. They had to put in like ten years of hard work before they got to. You know, back then you didn't need that. You didn't need exceptional qualifications. You just needed a job right there, then and there, and then you can get a house and you can have a decent paying job at the time. Like inflation wasn't too bad, and yeah, it was way easier than it is now. Like now, the inflation is one of the biggest killers. Like back then, Big Mac, whatever, what was it worth? Like $3, $4, and a house was worth, let's say in the '90s, it was worth 100K. Nowadays, in Canada, houses in Toronto is average $1 million. $1 million is the average price for a home in here in Toronto, which is absolutely nuts. That's why a lot of people have been leaving the city and a lot of people have been leaving Canada as a whole. And we're expecting young men to be like sole providers and exceptional at what they do and find jobs right away. And no one's even hiring, bro. The job market is cooked. Inflation is messed up. Like for what, like let's say minimum wage for back then, you could at least get rent and things that you need. Now with minimum wage, bro, you can't even cover rent. You need to get a room and have a couple roommates. But you know what I heard on the internet like 20, 30 years ago? If you had a roommate, people thought you were gay. They thought like not I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but they thought like there was something off of you. Like cuz it was that inexpensive to have a place of your own. Like when you were 18, let's say in the 90s or early 2000s, if you were 18, you could have found a place for yourself. Nowadays, bro, I see people trying to find a place for themselves and they're struggling. It's like they're really struggling. Anxiety's at an all-time high. And then once they do that, bro, once they find a job, let's say they get a job and they're finally able to pay bills, bro, they don't have time for their mental health. They don't have time for hobbies. They don't have time for the gym to keep themselves healthy. Their budget is crazy, so they get some food. It's super unhealthy. They get some unhealthy food, but as long as they're full, it doesn't matter. They'll either have unhealthy food or they'll either starve themselves, and that's better than nothing. You know, like back then, like let's say you had a job, you have a place to stay, but you have a bit more options. You have cable, you have all the channels. Now you gotta legally stream, or you gotta get one good stream of your own and not rely on the rest. Like you could just have your Netflix and that's it, and legally stream. But back then, it was like you had cable, you got access to every single channel. Like everything's being inflated. It's not just prices of groceries and houses, but cars are getting inflated. Gas is getting inflated. Prices for drinks at the bars are getting inflated. Like clothes are getting inflated. Everything. So it's like what you had before. Let's say you made $10,000 a month in 1995, which would probably be like, I don't know. Okay, whatever, $10,000 back then. I'm not sure how it would be. $5,000, $6,000. I'm not sure, but you could get a lot with that. Like you could cover your rent. You can cover car payments easy. You can get all the groceries in the world. You have time for entertainment. You don't have to work more than 40 hours a week. Nowadays, the equivalent to that, let's assume it's 10K a month. It's like you can't get the same as you were back then. Like if you were getting all these streaming services, entertainment services, gas, groceries, you have to cut down on your groceries a bit. You have to cut down on this. You have to cut down on your entertainment, on your spending, you know? So you have to cover yourself wisely. You have to spend wisely, even though 10K a month is a lot. I truly believe if you can't live off 10K a month by yourself, then you have some spending problems. But I'm just using it as an example. But most people aren't even getting 10K a month. Like if they're getting 3 or 4K, they're budgeting very very carefully. Even if they get like 6 to 8K, they're budgeting very carefully. They're not making any errors. They don't have that much room for errors like they did before. So everyone's everyone's more capitalistic. All these companies are finding way more money, way more ways to make money. Like even these gaming companies, bro. Like back then, like let's say COD 4, they only had like one map pack. That's it. Nowadays, bro, in these games, you have to pay for more DLCs. They want to monetize not just off the game, but they want to monetize long term. They want to have you keep spending more money, like on FIFA and 2K. They want you to spend money on their coins over and over again every month. They want to, they want as much money as they can get from you. They're milking as much as they can, so they're making it harder too. And even gambling was never in your face like this. Like back in my times, bro, if you wanted to gamble, I'm not even that old. I'm 29. If you wanted to gamble, you just have to go to the casino. But you had to leave your house if you wanted to gamble. Like you couldn't just go on your phone and gamble. Nowadays, you wake up, there's a soccer game, boom, you can gamble. Like they made it that easy where anyone with a phone can now gamble. Just verify that you're over 18, 19, 21, and that's it. And then you can lose so much money right there because we know in gambling, 95% of the time the house always wins. And then as a result of all of this getting expensive, home ownerships are, oh my god. Home ownerships are lower than they've ever been. Back then in the 90s and before those times, I think there was about 30 or 40% of people by the age of 30 where they were married and had homes. Now it's like 5 to 6%. If you have a home and you're married by the age of 30, you are doing amazing. You're blessed. Just thank everything right now if you are 30 and you have a home and you're married. Cuz that sounds crazy today. Being married at the age of 30 sounds crazy. I remember when I was 10 years old, 12 years old, I'll be married and have a home by 25. I'm 29. I'm married. I still don't own a house, but that's the plan for the future, and time will tell. Like before, you had goals. Oh, I want to be like this for 23. I want to have this much money by 25, by 28. And now we're realizing, bro, that's not like realistic until you're 40. It's going to take you 10, 15, 20 years of grinding to get to that level. I'm accepting those terms now, but yeah. And with inflation, like it's harder for men to be providers. Like women are out earning them nowadays, and their education, they're getting less education and less degrees than women. But even though they do, they still dominate the blue collar job agency, and they're still getting money. But at the same time, women are owning more and more, so it's harder for them to be a standout provider. Because at the end of the day, most women want someone that makes more than them, or at least the same minimum. But most women want a man that makes more than them. Like I'm not too much of the red pill, but I do agree with the state of hypergamy, where women want a man that's better than them, and it's actually true. By the way, I'm not here talking about the red pill though, because there's so much stuff that I disagree with. But in the case of hypergamy, they got it right. And as men, we learn that the hard way. When you're a teenager, you think you're a blue pill. You're like, women aren't like this. Women aren't like this. But when you're 20, 25, you talk to many women, you realize most of them are indeed like this. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just how we were made biologically. That's how biology designed women to be. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you have a daughter or sister, you would want someone that makes more money than them. You want them to have a man that's stronger than them, taller than them, more capable. And see, like, there's nothing wrong with it at the end of the day. But what I am trying to say is that it makes it harder for guys, and guys are crashing out. They're at a point where they're not even dating anymore. They're at a point where the highest we're in the times where we're in the times where the highest rates of men are not having any bedroom action, and they're not even getting married. They're not even dating. Like a lot of men nowadays haven't even asked out a woman. You could blame it partly on COVID, but I can just tell you that was a year. I'm telling you, it's more of the internet, and it's more of what's going on with our society. It's more of men's confidence taking a hit. Because back then, when you were 18, 19 years old, 20, 30 years ago, you were just confident. You didn't need to make that much money to be confident. Nowadays, like, confidence is tied to how much money you make, and your worth is tied to how much money you make. It's actually hard because, like, most men aren't getting money like that. I wish they were, but, like, the top 10% of men, yeah, they're making money, but most of them aren't, and as a result, they're not having the confidence to approach women at all. And OnlyFans and adult content, like, it made it easy for them to take the easy way out and just go on their phones, do their thing, and then they don't want to speak to women at all. It's like, I don't know. It's like it was made all by design, to which, like, the man suffers the most. The average man suffers, and it results into less procreation, um, birth decline for both men and women, because women aren't getting married. If men aren't getting married, women aren't getting married either. It takes one on one. But if you take the aspect of sex, it's not really one of one, because, like, one man could be sleeping with 3 4 different women, and the 3 other guys aren't really sleeping with any. So, but when it comes to marriage, it's different. Like, one man is to one woman, especially in Western countries, because polygamy is not mostly allowed in most of these Western countries. But yeah, that's my thoughts. At the end of the day, men have it harder than ever. We can't be too hard on men right now, especially young men. And I had it rough too in 2015 to 2019, 2020, when I was trying to make something out of myself. I suffered the same exact thing. But, like, the inflation wasn't that bad, at least, and women weren't as that bad. But they're getting worse and worse, and harder for men to deal with. It's harder for men to crack the code. I'm not saying it's the woman's fault, but what I am saying is that, like, it's not easy for men. And that's the entire video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys.